Hira Khan and welcome back to my channel. So today's look is basically a special Valentine's Day look. So this is the look I'm going to be teaching you guys in this tutorial. If you really like this look, please stay tuned. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my skin. I'm going to be using the MAC Prep and Prime to prime my skin because my skin gets really dry in winter. So I like this primer because it has a great hydrating effect. So just going to take it on the back of my hand and I'm going to use my fingers to apply it on. And just going to lightly dab it on. And using my fingers to just blend in that primer. I'm going to make sure it reaches those under eye areas. Once I've applied the primer, I'm going to go on with my foundation. I'm going to be using the Chanel White Lumiere. So basically this foundation has a luminous finish and it's really sheer. Just talking about my own foundation routine, I generally do not like heavy coverage makeup, especially the foundation. I always like it to be really sheer, really natural and towards the luminous side rather than having that caked up look, which is why I do not use a lot of layers on my face, and I basically just go on with this foundation and I conceal just slightly a bit on top. So I'm just going to take the foundation on the back of my hand and I'm going to start applying it onto my face using this beauty blender. So I've just applied some onto my blender and I'm going to slowly start applying it and dabbing it in. Problem areas are basically all the areas where I have that acne. So I'm just going to hide that redness. I'm not going to be color correcting. Why? Because I don't feel I really have that big of an acne issue or redness or any rashes. So once I've applied my foundation with the blender, I'm going to go on with this tipping brush by Real Techniques. Basically this is really good if you want a really sheer finish and it just gives you a really non-cakey feel. So I'm just going to take the brush and I'm going to start buffing in my foundation, going in roundward motions. So wherever you've applied your foundation, just go in those roundward motions and buff it in. To brighten up my under eye area, I'm going to go on with this foundation stick by Makeup Forever. Apply it on my under eye dark circles on both sides. So guys, always remember, just press it in, don't swipe, press it in. Just dab it in to your skin. So when you swipe, you're basically wasting your product and I'm sure you do not want that. So guys, just to set my under eye area a bit, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I have the translucent powder on the cap of the product. So I'm just going to take the product using this beauty blender onto my beauty blender and I'm going to apply it on my under eye area. If your T-zones tend to get really oily, you can apply them there as well, such as the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead, etc. But for me, that's not really a problem because like I said, my skin is more towards the dry side and especially in winters. God, it gets so patchy. So I'm just going to apply it onto my under eye area so that it doesn't crease. So guys, moving on to the eyes now, I'm going to first apply the concealer onto my eyes. It's Soft Ochre, the MAC Paint Pot. And I'm just going to take it on my finger and apply it all over from my brow bone to my inner corners, to my lid, to my outer corners, basically your entire eye. I think I've repeated that in my last video as well. And I'm going to be using the Hude Beauty palette. So all have been obsessing over this palette. As the first shade I'm going to go on with is Man-Eater from this palette. So I'm just going to take the shade onto my Real Techniques blending brush, which looks like this. It's a really shiny brush, a really pretty brush. It's actually one of my favorites to blend. Okay, so with the shade, I'm going to raise my eyebrow. I think I've said that in my last video that I like to raise my eyebrows as I'm blending because I feel that it actually makes a huge difference. So I'm going to start and apply it right above my crease line. right there, and I'm going to take it all the way into my crease line, my inner corners, my entire lid, my outer corners, basically just everywhere other than the brow bone, of course. So right there, and blend it in like that. I feel it's always so much fun blending, although it's one hell of a task at times when you're going on with really bold colors, but it's still a lot of fun. So the next shade is Sandalwood from the same palette, and I'm going to be using the same brush, of course. Just going to take it on my blending brush, and this shade is going to come right into my crease line and then all the way downwards, basically layering on top, layering on top, layering on top, and my camera person's laughing. So guys, the next shade I'm going to be mixing Bossy and Cocoa using the same blending brush. I'm going to take a bit of Bossy and a bit of Cocoa, and I'm just going to blend this only on the outer corner of my lid. So just the outer corner, blend it in, go in and out, and just blend it, baby. My lid, I'm going to be using the shade Man-Eater from the same palette, and I'm going to be using my finger to apply it. So I like to use my finger to apply the lid shade because I just feel that makes it a little more pigmented. So taking that shade onto my finger, I'm going to apply it onto my lid. This is a really pretty white gold color, and I feel it just makes your eyes pop out instantly. I'm going to make sure I take it into these inner corners because I don't want them to look empty. I'm just going to use my finger and just blend it into that outer lid color that I had applied before. Using the same shade Moon Dust for my brow bone, and I'm using this Detailer brush by PH Cosmetics and just applying it onto my brow bone. I'm going to use this angled brush by MAC, and I'm going to pick the shades Bossy and Cocoa and use them for my lower lash line, starting from where my lash line ends all the way inside. What I love about this brush is that whether you're applying the liner or whether you're doing your lower lash line, it's just so fine that you know exactly where to apply your product, and it works well. The inner corners of my lower lash line, I'm using the same color Moon Dust, just slightly highlighting it. This isn't going to be a really bold highlight, just slightly. So a lot of you guys said that I should look into the camera while I'm talking. Just gonna tell you guys that basically the mirror is right in front of me, which is why it's a little hard to look in the camera at all times. But yes, I'm trying to make more and more eye contact with you guys today because I love you guys, and I will keep on making changes until you guys feel that there should be no more. Obviously, we all want a really strong brow game. First thing we do is brush them. Just like you brush your hair, you brush your eyebrows. That way you can easily see all the gaps that need to be filled in. So now I'm going to take the Pro Wiz and I'm going to start by the highest point of my eyebrows. Filling in all my gaps and then brushing again. Filling in all my gaps and brushing again. So guys, this look for Valentine's Day. Obviously, if you're with someone, you can do this, go out, have fun, feel pampered. But what if you are single? Even if you're single, you should just, dress up, do your hair, do your makeup for your own self and love your own self. So all the single girls out there or all the people who are not with someone, I would still tell you that do your makeup, do your hair, dress up, and just look at yourself in the mirror and say this.
तुम्हारा कोई हक नहीं बनता कि तुम इतनी खूबसूरत लगो. Not fair.
Or maybe this. So sorry for rating this tutorial with the cheesy lines, but actually those two lines are my personal favorite lines. Why? Because guys, one thing that's really important and just an advice from me is to always, always, always love yourself. I'm done with the highlight, I'm done with the contour, I'm done with blush on. Moving on to the lips, I'm going to be using
Hude Beauty Lipstick.
Yes, and I'm going to be using that in the shade Famous, which is a deep plumish maroonish shade.
Now let's just let it stay this way because this looks so good. Don't you think so?
So guys, this is the final look. Look, and if you like my tutorial, please do subscribe to my channel, share my tutorial. Also, I would like to thank all of you for the tremendous amount of support I'm getting, also the different suggestions that you guys are giving me, and they're actually helping me a lot improve this channel. And I'm going to keep on making changes until or unless I'm not perfect, which I'm sure nobody can be, but still I'm going to try my best to be at least close to perfect. I love you all. A very happy Valentine's Day personally from me to you. Mwah.